The twin suns of Tatooine burned low on the horizon, casting elongated shadows across the sand-ridden ruins of an ancient temple. The air shimmered with heat, and the wind carried whispers of ages long past. The stone structures, once grand and imposing, now stood crumbling, their surfaces worn smooth by centuries of relentless desert storms. A lone figure knelt amidst the wreckage, his fingers tracing the worn engravings in the stone. Words in a language older than the Republic itself. His tattered cloak billowing slightly as the warm breeze brushed against him. Juran Vey, once a proud Jedi Knight, was now a ghost of his former self. He had survived Order 66 not by strength but by running. The Purge had swept through the galaxy, turning allies into executioners, forcing him to abandon the life he had sworn to protect. The clone troopers had come for him on Coruscant, and he had fled, first to the Outer Rim, then beyond, seeking refuge in the darkest corners of the galaxy. But the Jedi were more than warriors, they were seekers of truth, and truth had called him back. Legends spoke of a hidden archive, a final sanctuary of the Jedi Order. Buried beneath the sands of Tatooine, whispers in the Outer Rim suggested that long before Luke Skywalker had taken his first steps onto this desert world, before even Obi-Wan Kenobi had walked its dunes, the Jedi had left something behind, something powerful, something important. Juran's search led him to the temple's depths, where light barely reached. The silence was deafening, broken only by the distant howl of the wind and the soft scuffle of his boots against the stone floor. Every moment was measured, every breath controlled. He had spent years evading Imperial probes and Inquisitors, knowing that a single misstep could mean his end. Then, at last, he found it. A holocron, pulsing faintly with a blue light, rested atop an altar untouched by the decay surrounding it. The moment his fingers brushed against its cool surface, the chamber came alive. A soft hum filled the air, and a projection flickered to life before him. A Jedi appeared, her face weary, yet resolute. "If you have found this," she said, her voice echoing in the chamber, "then the Jedi are all gone. But you are not alone." Juran's breath caught in his throat. For so long he had believed himself to be the last, the only survivor. But here in the remnants of a forgotten past, hope still lingered. The moment shattered with a sharp, mechanical whir. Juran turned around, his instincts screaming danger. The crimson glow of a lightsaber ignited in the shadows, casting flickering red light against the ancient walls. A dark figure emerged, a helmeted silhouette unmistakable in its faceless menace. An Inquisitor. "You should not have come here," the Inquisitor hissed, stepping forward with slow, deliberate movements. The voice, modulated through the helmet, was devoid of warmth, of humanity. Juran's lightsaber ignited, casting a stark contrast against the crimson glow of his enemies. He had spent years hiding, running from the Empire's hounds, but now, as the air crackled with anticipation, he knew this time he could not run. The clash of their sabers sent sparks cascading through the chambers. Juran moved with the grace of a trained Jedi, but he had been alone for too long without a master and without a cause. The Inquisitor pressed him back, relentless in their assault. Then the holocron pulsed again, and the Jedi's voice echoed through the Force. "Remember who you are." A memory surfaced, his master's voice guiding him through his training as a Padawan. Duran inhaled sharply, steadying his stance. He let go of his fear, his doubt. He opened himself to the Force, truly listening for the first time in years. His blade caught the Inquisitors, twisting, redirecting. He moved with purpose, not anger, with clarity, rather than desperation. The fight had turned in his favor. The Inquisitor staggered, his movements turning frantic. Then, with a single precise strike, it was over. The red blade flickered and died. The Inquisitor crumbled, their helmet rolling across the stone floor, revealing the vacant stare of a once loyal warrior, twisted by the Empire's cruelty. Duran stood over the Inquisitor as he passed from one life to another, and the silence returned, heavy with finality. Turning back to the holocron, Duran watched as the Jedi's projection continued. "There are others," she said. "Find them. Rebuild. May the Force be with you." The weight of her words settled over him. He had spent far too long in the shadows, a relic of a forgotten age. But the Empire was wrong. The Jedi were not gone, not yet. With the first light of dawn spilling into the temple, Duran stepped out into the desert. He was no longer a fugitive and no longer a ghost of the past. He was a Jedi, and the galaxy still had need of him.